What's going on, everybody? Ochoa here from SB Nation's blog on theboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that you are having a phenomenal weekend. We're dropping this video on Saturday, May 11th, 2024. So do want to say a very happy early, a very happy active, a very happy late Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, mothers figures, motherly figures. We would be completely and totally lost without all the motherly figures in our life. I do want to wish a very happy Mother's Day to my wife and to my mom, who I obviously would not be able to be myself without. But we are here to discuss the Dallas Cowboys as we do all the time, all week long, every single week, 24/7, 365, or in the case of this leap year, 366. Here on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. We are the most subscribed to individual team channel across all of the SB Nation universe. So if you want to be a part of the best and be a part of us, subscribe, turn on notifications, etc., etc. If you like what I do talking about the Dallas Cowboys, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Threads at RJ Ochoa, or on TikTok at RJ.Ochoa. Now, I saw something earlier this week that I wanted to make sure that I shared with all of you because it was so incredible, to say the least. It was a clip. You may have seen it by this point in time. Of J.J. Watt and Tony Romo talking about the play, the moment that those two are a part of. And you know the one. There are just, I wouldn't say a handful. There's probably a lot of moments that we kind of, can think of immediately off the top of our heads. And this is definitely one of them, one of the classic signature moments throughout the incredible career of Tony Romo, which amazingly, the moment in question will turn a decade old. It was October 5th of 2014 when Tony Romo heroically spun away from J.J. Watt and threw a 43-yard touchdown pass to Terrence Williams. Well, the two of them now both work for CBS. Obviously, they have a lot going on. J.J. with his Premier League team, at least for now. And they were in this clip that kind of popped off, talking about the play in question, providing some analysis, some thoughts, et cetera, and I thought that you would enjoy it. So here is the clip in question.
We're just going to relive this play if you guys can please take us through it.
I'd rather not. I get this clip sent to me 250 times a year from Cowboy fans. Anytime the Texans do something, Cowboy fans send me this clip.
Well, J.J. has the quickest get-off time, and
look at this. Look at this. I mean, I had the best get-off I've literally ever had in my entire career. I'm a little worried I might get called for offsides.
You got to replay that again. We just got to see it a couple more times just to make sure. Look at that get-off. And that's against Tyron Smith, which is super rare.
I was literally, at this current moment, trying to kill Tony Romo. That was my goal.
And you were about to.
We talked about it multiple times. I don't know how he knew I was coming, because if you watch the clip, he never once looked, never once caught me out of his corner of his eye. It's just pure instinct.
You can hear him. He's like a horse coming right at you with like max speed. Secretariat's coming.
We're taught, go to the upfield shoulder,
yes,
so he can't spin out. I know that. I wanted the kill shot, and I went for the kill shot. I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. It's a hell of a throw. I mean, that's a hell of a throw. And the worst part of this is that was the game-winning play. Like, that play won the game. It was an insane, incredible play.
J.J. Watt used the word instinct there, which kind of encapsulates and fully describes who Tony Romo was as a player. If you watched him throughout all of his career, I think that really hits well. And that moment kind of personifies who Tony Romo was in a lot of ways from an instinctual standpoint. And so that's why that moment kind of sits out, at the top and the front of our brains. So it was cool to just kind of see them talking about it again. I can't believe almost a decade later that game was just, was wild. And it sticks out in my mind. It sticks out in my memory, which is why I have to correct J.J. Watt. And I'm so sorry to have to do this because I respect him greatly. That being said, it did not win the game for the for the Cowboys. I just want to be clear about this. We're looking at the game log from Pro Football Reference here. This was the Texans' first trip ever to AT&T Stadium, by the way. Their previous game at the Cowboys occurred at Texas Stadium in 2006, and Tony Romo actually got in that game in mop-up duty and threw a touchdown to Terrell Owens. So this was the Texans' first trip to AT&T Stadium, where they will be back this coming year, by the way, the Houston Texans. That is one of the home games for the Cowboys. We talked about the schedule coming up in the last video. We'll obviously break down the schedule when it comes out this coming week. Anyway, you're looking at the game log. So Dan Bailey got the game started for the Cowboys, and Arian Foster helped the Texans take the lead. Then the touchdown happened. with 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third quarter, as you can obviously read. Now, that did give the Cowboys a lead that they would never relinquish, to JJ's credit and defense, I suppose. But the Cowboys then pushed the lead out, 10-point lead, thanks to Des Bryant, of course, throw up the X, mandatory. Then Randy Bullock helped narrow the gap, and then Arian Foster got back in the end zone. Arian Foster, by the way, helped me win my fantasy league this particular year. So this was kind of a conflicting moment for me as a football fan, as you can imagine. I'm sure we've all kind of gone through that. Anyway, so they netted the game, or tied things up, I should say, at 17 apiece. With under a minute to go, the game went to overtime, which is why I remember this so prominently. And in true Tony Romo fashion, Tony led the Cowboys in an incredible drive to go down and see Dan Bailey kick the game-winning field goal, a drive that included a catch from then rookie Pitt wide receiver Devin Street, who held number 15 when Dak Prescott was first drafted by the team. That was the reason why Dak couldn't wear number 15. And then, of course, it changed hands a couple of times, wound up with Trey Lance, and now is on the back of Dak's buddy, Zeke Elliott. So funny how things go full circle there. Very cool clip, seriously. One of the cooler moments in Tony Romo's career. And I think, again, I think of that moment, and that season, 2014, just had so many things like that. There was the 3rd and 20 conversion in Seattle that also included Terrence Williams. The year before, Tony Romo's Terrence Williams' first touchdown was against the Denver Broncos in a just massive, I think it was like a 73-yard touchdown that helped that game get a little bit closer and then turn into the shootout that it ultimately became. 2014 also was when Dallas went to London to play Jacksonville. And speaking of Des Bryant, had that just incredible "you're not going to stop me" touchdown run, bumbling, stumbling all the way into the end zone. I think he scored twice that day. Des scored 3 times in Philadelphia. I mean, that was just such a magical season for our younger fans or younger listeners or newer fans that maybe weren't as passionately following the Cowboys in 2014. It really felt like we were cheating life. It really felt like we were just holding on to something so special, which is why, when Des caught it, it was just it was a different kind of knife twist, if that makes sense. And I can't believe it's been a decade, but thanks to Tony Romo and to JJY and to CBS Sports for helping us relive that particular memory. If you haven't yet, once again, please consider subscribing here to the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. We have videos coming out. I have videos coming out all the time. Still figuring out some sort of solution with regards to podcasts. I know a lot of you obviously have questions there, and I appreciate you reaching out. But for now, if you like to listen or to watch me talking about the Dallas Cowboys, this is the place to do that and to access that right here on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. So please make sure to subscribe and follow me on all levels of social media. Obviously, you know how to do that. For now, I'm going to bid you adieu. I'm going to wish you a very happy weekend, a very happy Mother's Day once again. Thank you to all mothers and motherly figures out there. You truly are the rocks of our family. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. We will see you next time.